Jesus.
Hello, Tom.
Paparazzi! Good afternoon.
Is it
Morning.
afternoon already?
Oh, it's still the morning, isn't it?
Yeah,
Good morning,
just-
Sean. And welcome to the Cinema Rules Show, where today we are watching The Lighthouse. Is that a horror film?
No, I don't know. I think it has elements of horror, but I think
So-
it's more psychological.
So people voted for this on our horror playlist on Patreon, our modern horror playlist, and this is the 5th one, so we're halfway through now.
And it's also black and white.
Yeah, wait. I've heard really good things.
I've heard good
I've
things
heard-
as well.
It's like a thriller, and there are people stuck in an isolated lighthouse.
Yeah.
And that's all I know.
Well, it's the same director. The director's name is Robert Eggers, I think.
Robert Eggers, yeah.
And he directed The Witch, which you haven't seen, but I have.
Oh, have you actually seen it? Yeah. So we've got that on for another video. So stay tuned for that.
Stay tuned for that.
So we're watching his second one first. I believe this got recognised by some of the awards.
I think it did, yeah. I don't know what type of awards, but he's also got another film in the works called The Northman, and it's described as a Viking revenge saga.
Yeah, I think it's starring the woman that's in The Witch.
Yeah.
Can't remember her name though.
Yeah.
One of the main reasons I'm excited for this is for Willem Dafoe and Robert Pattinson, because they're fantastic actors. Now, I think Robert Pattinson, it used to be cool to hate on him a little bit.
Yeah, because of Twilight and all that.
and things like that. I hope it's a kind of vehicle for good performances.
Yeah.
Because, I don't know, maybe there's going to be a good narrative, but it seems to me like these isolated kind of pictures that are in one place are more about performance, aren't they? Usually?
What makes it even more isolated as well?
Cool DVD cover,
Right.
the Blu-ray cover even, black.
What makes it even more isolating as well is the aspect ratio in which this was filmed in. So I can't remember what the specific aspect ratio is, but it's essentially a box.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and what I'm also interested in is the language in which they use. It's Old English, I think.
So he's interesting then, because I love historical dramas, right?
Yeah.
I absolutely love them.
You'll love
And
this then,
The
I
Witch
think.
is historical, but I think this is, and his new thing's a Viking film. So
Yeah.
I'm excited to see a kind of new and upcoming director. I'm hoping he's just as kind of refreshing and new as like Ari Aster. So we've got another good new director to sort of enjoy. Wow, I'm excited.
Well, these first five films, all modern films, all modern horror films, all different with different concepts. How can people say that modern horrors aren't as good as the old 80s, 70s and 80s horror movies? I don't know why they would say that.
Well, fingers crossed this one is just as intriguing.
Yes.
It's so ominous, that tone. That's the music. Is an association with death. That's like in history. Those notes are an association with death.
You're watching it sail away. Already, you're thinking, what a terrible job. Why are you here?
Yeah.
For 4 weeks.
I love those kind of static shots that flick between characters. They're quite old as well.
Hypnotizing.
That's all that's there, isn't it?
It's the only
The
drug.
light. It's the only thing, so you become almost attached to it or something.
Addicted to it. Maybe that's the cause of the conflict. Maybe they both want to control the light. That was unsettling. It must be even more isolating the fact that they have different shifts. So he's going to bed as he wakes up. They're both on their own until like certain specific points. Yeah.
Catch your breath, lad. And see to the rest of your duties. You're behind hand already.
Aye, sir.
You're too slow. You a dullard?
No, sir.
Fooled me.
So he's not allowed up there.
Bad luck to kill a seabird.
More tall tales.
Bad luck to kill a seabird.
He said all tall tales.
Yeah, this goal has got something to do with something as well.
Omen. He's going to kill it, isn't he, or something? He's going to do something.
What's he doing? Oh.
I swear, if Willem Dafoe's watching him.
Nice use of the seawater sound there. What's that?
The lighthouse.
Yeah, there was a shadow of him. Yeah, on the look, you can see it on the
Whoa.
You'll do it! And by God and by golly, you'll do it, smiling lad, 'cause you like it. You like it 'cause I says you will.
Aye, sir.
Now, swab, dog. Swab.
That interaction was incredible. That interaction was absolutely incredible. This dinner table scene, their heads are so close to the top of the screen. Yeah. It's like it's so claustrophobic. What the?
I was joking about the whole him being in love with the lighthouse. A dream.
Yeah, it has to be. Jesus!
But there's dirty weather knocking about. Something stirring in you. You're getting off this rock tomorrow, Winslow.
Tomorrow?
Stop grudging me now.
I love these two actors. I think they're great.
Yeah.
It must have been such a good dynamic.
It has shit on it in it as well.
What are you splitting your lungs for? You smell of shit. Let's swab this mess before the tender comes.
The storm is way too bad, isn't it?
75. Old Striker wasn't around here for 7 long months he was. The storm died on the mainland, but here the waters were too rageful neither to launch nor land.
7 months. Or is this something buried? Yeah. Is that the rations, maybe? If it's empty. Oh, is he not gonna do that?
Let's find some winks before the day draws farther on. Get back to your duties, or I'll give you a real keel holing.
He was gonna kill him.
Was he? Yeah,
He was.
He
He was like-
knife. He had a knife straight to his neck.
This reminds me of The Shining, you know?
He's looking at the mermaid thing.
Yeah. This, like the cuts, the music. Me in the first lockdown. God.
I'm Tom.
I thought
I'm
that.
Thomas. You're Ephraim.
Tom Howard.
What's Winslow?
It's nothing.
Nothing.
You shouted up and I just stood there. Tom, you dog. I just stood there is all. Just stood. Watched him get swallowed by them logs.
So we didn't kill him. You
All I
just
could
didn't do
think
anything about
when
it.
he was done was
So, The Shining.
I know what you've done.
you killed your second.
You killed your second.
The one-eyed junior man. I found him in the lobster pot.
So that was real then.
Look, man, I don't have nothing to confess, but you spilling your beans. Look what it's done to you. It's made you mad.
God.
And I knew you was mad when you smashed up that lifeboat just now and chasing me with an axe, trying to kill old Tom.
What?
Don't you trust me, Tommy?
What? Hang on a minute. Is he
Better love
manipulating him?
me.
Oh my God. Is he manipulating him?
What a good clown!
They just get drunk every night. Work and no play, mates. Don't boy. What is it? Time to die.
Snoring. You goddamn farts. You goddamn. Goddamn farts. Drunk on duty. Assault. Theft. Recommend severance without pay.
Oh,
Severance without pay! Are you trying to ruin me?
Thomas, you're a dog! A filthy dog! A dog!
I knew it was going to be this woman again, or the mermaid. He's going insane. This film makes you think that you're on the side of madness. Yeah. it makes you think things are going on behind the scenes with Willem Dafoe's character, but nothing is.
He suffered. That want to toil, and he's...
That is commitment to the role. That is commitment. Yeah. What a guy.
The light belongs to me!
Oh. Ah! Oh. How did he end up out there? Ah! They're eating him! Oh, what the hell?
It's of a merchant's daughter brought up in Callio. Hurrah, the other girls.
Oh my god.
I've got so much to say, but I don't know how to say
yeah.
it.
Right. I just want to start off by saying the performances in this film are literally insane.
Brilliant.
What an amount of effort and work and sort of... they just give their all, don't they?
Well, the performances, the writing, the directing, the lighting, the score, all masterclass.
Yeah.
All is a masterclass in filmmaking. I think the only thing that can bring this rating down for people is just their preference on the story.
Yeah, their preference, their interpretation of the narrative, perhaps.
Yeah. And whether it's just engaging, because you can't fault the masterclass in filmmaking here.
What an uncomfortable tone created throughout. All the cinematography, all the shots, all of the editing, it's all there for that one reason, isn't it? To create that feeling of isolation and claustrophobia, but to also present a interior conflict that all centres around the conscience.
Yeah,
that's what I take from it.
Yeah, because it has this such ambiguous tone to it, it causes confusion, but not in the bad way. I think it causes confusion to kind of coincide with the madness that is represented in these characters.
Just thinking of watching this film, and imagine we have a different experience to people that watch this themselves by themselves. I could imagine that being quite a different experience.
But I think the reaction that we had for this film specifically wasn't the same as other reactions, because we didn't speak as much because we were kind of absorbing it on our own.
Take in. This is a film to be studied and analysed as opposed to just consumed, I think.
Yeah. And I said in the reaction that it makes you take the side of madness.
Yeah.
You know, you're following Robert Pattinson's character and you're on his side for the majority of the film.
He seems so normal and generic at the start of the film, doesn't he? And I like how we're drip-fed bits of him, his story and his personality. It's not till at least halfway through the film, at least, that we actually realise he's probably
a murderer.
Running from something. Yeah. I need more time to think about it, really.
Yeah, again, these are our raw reactions. We've just watched the film. We did a little bit of reading up on it, but not much at all. So these are our raw reactions. Don't expect this to be a fully fledged out movie review and us to hit everything on the head. We're just kind of thinking out loud here.
I'm so excited. I'm so excited to watch that film, The Witch.
Yeah. Which he directed before this.
And he's done it before this as well.
Yeah.
This guy is going to be one to watch.
Yeah, 100%.
Just like Ari Aster.
Yeah, Ari Aster, Robert Eggers and Jordan Peele are bringing so much to the horror genre.
Yeah, and I wouldn't even necessarily class
this as horror.
Class this as horror. I think it's more a kind of a psychological thriller or drama as opposed to a horror. I can see why it would be horrifying for some people, and there are certain aspects of it that definitely are, like the tension, the claustrophobia, and so on.
Yeah, so the Guardian names this explosively scary, but it's not scary. I think they've got it wrong there. It's not scary.
I think it's subjective. Horror's subjective anyway, isn't it? It's what scares you. I think calling this a horror film does it a disservice. And does Robert Eggers a disservice, because he's not there just to horrify people. I think that's a consequence for some people.
It's a product of the themes that it's trying to represent. So madness, isolation. That horror is a product of those.
I think Ari Aster, he wants to be horrifying, and he sets out to be disturbing.
It's very unique. It's very unique, and I just would like to appreciate the cinematography in how first of all the choice of aspect ratio, black and white, the time period, the location, and how that all wraps up and complements the cinematography. Like I mentioned in the reaction when they were at the dinner table, and that scene happened a few times throughout the film, and their heads, the composition of that is that there's a void of darkness below them, and then just the top of the frame is lit, and it's just them and their shoulders and their heads, and it's so close to the ceiling, just so claustrophobic. And I'm picking that scene out specifically, but that kind of runs throughout just how meticulous his shots are and his compositions are. Yeah.
Wow, I think it's great.
It's brilliant. But let's rate it. Let's rate it. I can't really think of anything bad to say about the film, but it boils down to personal preference in terms of entertainment value, rewatchability. Everything else is masterfully done. So I'm going to give it, and I think it might be a very similar rating to The Shining. I gave The Shining, and it's just a little bit better than Hereditary, I think, just because I think the filmmaking is just a little bit more solid there, and the performances and the writing is just a little bit more solid. So I'm going to go with an 8.6. But this is my rating for now. I need to absorb it all.
Yeah.
And I need to rewatch it again, and I would love to read the script of this as well.
This is an absolutely visually stunning film. The cinematography, the lighting is fantastic. The actors give their all, their performances, considering really they are the only two characters in the film, aren't they?
Yeah, they are.
Not the only actors, but the only two characters. They carry the weight of the narrative, don't they? They get across this disturbed isolation fantastically, and the psychological conflict amazingly. So I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10.
9 out of 10.
Yeah, I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10. I think it definitely deserves that.
Yeah.
I feel like I still need time to think about it a little bit more.
Yeah.
But really good film. I can't believe that this film has a 7.5. Sean just told me it has a 7.5 on IMDb. It baffles me.
It deserves way more than 7.5.
People, when they review films, they often focus on two things: the actor's performance and the narrative.
Yeah.
And I don't know why I've got a third thing, but the actor's performance and the narrative. They don't think about the craft that goes into it.
No.
And this is just awesome.
Well, the average viewer doesn't think about what it goes into the craftsmanship, but maybe you should. But anyway, those were our ratings. Tom rated it a 9. I rated it at 8.6. Again, we both would like to rewatch this. Our ratings probably will change over time, like they usually do, because these are raw reactions. But if you liked this video, then give it a like.
Yeah,
it helps out the channel quite a lot. And if you haven't subscribed already, make sure to hit that subscribe button.
Stay tuned to Patreon to see our next modern horrors.
And if you want to see the full length reaction to this film, again, that's on Patreon. And
it'll be a lot of me going.
Yeah. Ping that notification bell if you want to be notified of our next horror reaction. It might be another Robert Eggers. The Witch might be next. We don't know. We haven't decided. But thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next
time
video.